all you got to do is flip on the TV. Now, if you want to say sauce for the goose and sauce for the gander, say they can't spend those dollars and do that. But if they're allowed to do it, you ought to say what makes them better off than this corporation over here to be able to do the same kind of thing. I think their right of freedom of the press is no greater than this corporation's right of freedom of speech. And so I think from that point of view, I think the Supreme Court was right, and I hope we don't see Congress doing something to change it. But I'll tell you, the two majorities that are in there now are scared to death. And the reason they're scared to death is not all because foreign corporations are doing it, because it didn't apply to them. They're afraid in that marketplace of ideas that I was talking about, truth will win out, and they don't want that marketplace so the truth can have a place in it. So I don't know where we'll go, but I wouldn't support changing myself.
Question. How important, from your perspective, how important is it going to be as far as the various attorneys general combating the federal government?
I think it's huge. And here's the reason why. One of the things that I've always thought from a strategic point of view we need to do, we need to get everybody in the fight. You know, we're not in a situation where we say, okay, we just want to pick 3 leaders and let them go out and fight. We want to get everybody in the fight. I think having the attorney generals out there doing that, it takes a lot of their effort, a lot of their energy, and I think it can have some major benefits, because I think there's some things in this health care plan and all that are just unconstitutional. And
they could continually litigate things for years, I would think, to stop this stuff from happening.
Well, I think that they can have a good opportunity to do that and a good opportunity to slow it down at best. Now, one of the other things that we got to realize, they use their legal power to attack us all the time. And what people don't realize is how they go after individuals now from a judicial point of view and a litigation point of view. If they come at you, now they don't do it because you did anything wrong. They come at you because if I can keep you in depositions for 2 days, solid. You know, I don't know about you, I can't always remember what I ate for lunch, yesterday, much less last week. But they'll ask people what they did 6 years ago, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you get a conflict in that, then they want to come at you for perjury, at that time. And that's what they try to do. Now, to show you the cost of this, if you go through just 1 day of depositions, it's $50,000 to defend it. I had to do it because on the Judiciary Committee, my job is when they do that to sit there and protect the people they're going after. I had to sit with Carl Rove. I watched them go through 2 days of him. He had done nothing. They just used all of their attorneys, everything they had to cost him money, and they try to wear people down. I think our attorney generals need to stand in that fight and be a part of it. Lieutenant Governor that I just met with on Mississippi, he just simply spoke somewhere and mentioned his faith. That's all he did. Their attorney general, because of the opposite party, told him he needed to back off of that and not do it. He looked him in the eye and he said, that's what you're for, to defend me. And he said, I'm not going to back off. And so the ACLU is suing him now. But he said, that's a fight I'm glad to have. I think we need to have those fights and have everybody in. I think it makes a big difference.
Rudy Burns from Hanover County, thank you for coming. What do you think the chances are that the Democratically controlled U.S. Senate will be able to get through a health care bill with a simple majority?
Nobody knows that. I think they'll try. I think it's clear that they're going to try to ram it down. I'm not a big one for this summit that they're bringing people to. I think, in my opinion, but I was a minority. I didn't think our conference should have invited the president to speak there. I don't think they came off well when they did that. And I don't think this summit's a particularly good idea. I think it is a trap, And I think that what they'll try to do is take one item and that the Republicans disagree with, and they'll try to say, look at them, they're against this. And they're going to try to make a whole marketing pitch on that, and then say all they want to do is say no. But having said that, some of these guys really know right now that they're in a scary situation. My best friend in Congress is a fellow by the name of John Bozeman. John is a wonderful guy. He's as humble a guy as you can imagine. He's just a big teddy bear kind of guy. He was a football player for the University of Arkansas. John was sitting there one day, and one of the Democrats came and was talking to him and just asked him if he was thinking about running for the Senate. And John just said, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I mean, that's all he did. Well, that got out to the bloggers. And then it got out to the newspaper. John hadn't even ever said he was running, hadn't hired the first person. They did a poll, and John was ahead, I think it was 56 to 33 in Arkansas over the sitting U.S. Senator. And he comes in the next day and he says, "What do you think I should do?" And I said, "A big oof." I said, "There's no question about what you should do." But that shows how toxic the situation is. And I think a lot of them are kind of running for cover, and they should if they won't have any political future at all. So we're hoping we'll...
Time for one more, Congressman.
Okay, one more.
Congressman McFadden
Yes,
from
ma'am.
Powhatan. Given the number of early retirements in the Senate and House, it seems like maybe some of the liberals are sensing the frustration among the American people. Do you believe that's going to continue, or do they really care?
I think they're sensing it. I think what you're finding is this happening. As they look at their poll numbers, they want to know, they have a choice of whether they want to be humiliated at the polls or whether they want to step down. I think if things continue the way they are, we could see just tsunamis walking across this country in November. And I think some of them sense it. Now here's the counter to that though. You would say normally, well, if the people hate this so much, and one of the things that's happening to these people too, because I talk to them on a daily basis, when they go back home, they're getting brutalized at the local Cracker Barrel, Olive Garden. When they go in there, people are just brutal to them, and they shouldn't be, because they know they're just selling the country down the road. And some of them are just stepping back and saying, "I can't do that." But it's not impacting their votes in a lot of situations, because a lot of them are, two things are happening. They kind of get cloistered, where they hear different numbers and different things within this little Washington mentality. But the second thing is, they are so afraid of the unions and some of those other groups in primary fights, primary battles, that they won't switch their votes because they're afraid they'll lose in the primary to come out. So I think we're going to continue to see more retirements. But I think whether we see the retirements or not, remember, a lot of these guys, we don't want to retire. We'd like to see them in there so we can retire. Because I really think we have a better chance of running against some of these incumbents than we do on having some new people. But I think we're going to see a lot. The one that really surprised us was Biden. When he did that, I think that really shows kind of a movement that's taking place and all on doing that. So with that...
We're going to one more. Ma'am?
Sure.
Hi, good afternoon, Senator. My name is Carol Williams-Feltler. I'm Chief Executive Officer of Pure Power Corporation. I deal in energy applications. I'm looking to relocate Pure Power Corporation here. You have a new Manhattan project where you claim that we can be off our foreign dependence on oil in 10 to 20 years.
20 years.
Okay. What would you say if I told you I can have us half off our foreign oil dependence in 2 to 5 years?
Carol, I would say this. I would say that I probably don't have nearly the expertise you would have, but that our direction that we would be going is just the right direction as opposed to the direction that the Democrats are going. The Democrats want to go into a direction that says government's going to sit back in a big room, then we're going to come out and tell everybody what to do. Our plan, which by the way, Wall Street Journal, Fox News, CNN, most energy experts say is the best plan in the country right now, leaves it up to people like you and to the private sector to say, how do we get there quicker? Our goal is to say, let's say at least by 10 years, we're 50% off of foreign oil, and by 20 years, 100%. If we can get there in 5 years, I think it's great. The wonderful thing about doing that is it would change the competitive advantage we have in world markets overnight. It would show Americans are coming back, and it would create a consumer confidence level in the country that I think would just be enormous for us.
It will save this country. It's
It would
what
save
it
this
takes to
country.
save
I
this
agree.
country.
But I've got confidence that there's a lot of people out there that have those kind of ideas if we would just let them do their thing. But we're not.